EC finds 2,079 nomination papers valid and 786 invalid at scrutiny of candidature for 11 parliamentary election. Appellate Division upholds Chamber Judge's verdict barring election for convicts over 2 years. BNP turned into rumour factory losing People's Trust, says Ubadul Qadir at briefing. US President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to suspend trade war. And in Dhaka Test, Tigers beat Windies by innings and 184 runs and clinch Test Series 2-0. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to BTV, BTV World and BTV Chattogram Center. I'm Samia Abuni.
And I'm Mashrufa Hussain. You've just heard the headlines. Moving on to the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urged the business community to work vigorously to explore the export and other business opportunities in the global market following country's graduation as a developing country from LDC. The Prime Minister made the call while distributing National Export Trophy for the year 2015-16 at a hotel in the capital this morning. A total of 56 enterprises of 24 sectors were given the trophy. Out of them, 25 organizations received gold, 17 organizations silver and 14 organizations bronze trophy. The Premier said Bangladesh will lose some facilities entitled for LDCs, but it would not be a problem for the country as the government has already taken preparation to address the situation, creating necessary business-friendly atmosphere. Aimed at boosting regional trade and business, Sheikh Hasina said her government has signed a memorandum of understanding with India, Bhutan and Nepal for development of the communication network. Another memorandum of understanding has been signed with China, India and Myanmar for development of BCIM economic corridor, she added. She said her government is working out a plan to assess the demands of Bangladeshi goods in the global markets and give facilities to the exporters to boost up exports. Urging the business community to expand the export basket in foreign market, the Prime Minister said many countries have given Bangladesh duty and quota-free access to their markets. The Prime Minister assured the exporters of providing all-out support to find out the global markets of Bangladeshi products if a party is re-elected and she remains in office. She said as a developing country, Bangladesh has to go far away from attaining its cherished economic prosperity. Commerce Minister Tofal Ahmed presided over the function, while it was also addressed by FBCCI President Shafiul Islam Mohiuddin and Secretary of the Ministry Mohammad Mofizul Islam.
Returning officers across the country have declared 2,279 nomination papers valid after scrutiny today. They also cancelled 786 nomination papers due to various reasons. The aspiring candidates whose nomination papers declared invalid have opportunity to lodge appeal against returning officers' decision within next 3 days. In the capital city, Dhaka, returning officer cancelled 2 nomination papers in Dhaka, 1 constituency, while 2 were declared valid in Dhaka 2 and 3 in Dhaka 3. 6 nomination papers out of 15 in Dhaka 4 were cancelled, while 9 out of 13 in Dhaka 5 declared valid. In Dhaka 6, 10 nomination papers out of 13 and 15 out of 19 nomination papers in Dhaka 7 overcame the scrutiny barrier. In Chattogram, returning officers cancelled 42 nomination papers out of 188 submitted in 16 constituencies. In Khulna, 4 nomination papers out of 51 in 6 constituencies declared invalid. In Rajshahi, 23 nomination papers out of 53 declared invalid due to various reasons. In Borishal, returning officers scrutinized 51 nomination papers of 6 constituencies. In Sylhet, 15 nomination papers out of 66 in 6 constituencies have been cancelled. In Mymensingh, returning officers scrutinized 116 nomination papers for 11 constituencies. Meanwhile, nomination papers of BNP chairperson Khaleda Zia submitted in Feni 1 and Bogura 6 and 7 were cancelled due to her being convicted in 2 corruption cases. As per the election schedule, the last date of withdrawal of nomination paper is December 9th. The Appellate Division of the Supreme Court today upheld its chamber judge's order that halted a High Court order staying conviction and sentence of BNP candidate Sabira Sultana. The Appellate Division was in full bench headed by Chief Justice Syed Mahmood Hussain. Because of the Apex Court's order, Sabira will no longer be able to contest in 11th National Parliamentary polls. Attorney General Mahboobi Alam said, following today's order, people sentenced to more than 2 years will also not be able to take part in the polls.
Awami League General Secretary Obaidul Qadir has said BNP has lost confidence in the people and is practicing politics of rumour. He said this while briefing newsmen at Awami League President's office at Dhanmondi in Dhaka today. Obaidul Qadir said Dr. Kamal is leader of Oitko Front but not the brain of Oitko Front. On the issue of arrests regarding Noya Polton incident, Obaidul Qadir said the alleged persons who were engaged in the heinous act is now getting punishment and is not of political interest, saying the people of the country have identified the communal and non-communal forces. He hoped they would not remain with the communal forces and terrorists. Now BTV's regular field report on politics, election and people's voice. Discussion, table talks and conversation going on at every corner of the country as national elections come nearer. Mass people are discussing about the government's performance, development of localities, dreams and possibilities of future Bangladesh. Talking to BTV, some female students from Bangladesh Kuwait Moitri Hall of Dhaka University expressed their thoughts over the next general elections. A student said she's unwilling to see the repeat of 21st August grenade attack, series of bomb attack and militancy in Bangladesh. Another student said, like BPL or IPL cricket tournaments, politicians should not change party whimsically only for personal interest. Some freedom fighters are taking part in elections sharing symbol with Jamaat and Shibir, she added. Another student said now she can use 4G internet at her village and remain connected with the entire world. Bangladesh IT sector has developed significantly. She wants to see the continuation of this development in future. Another interviewee said within this 10 years, women empowerment has reached a high level. Women are now more vocal than before, and as a citizen of an independent country, she will cast her vote to the party which owns the spirit of liberation war.
Now, international news. US President Donald Trump and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping have agreed to halt new trade tariffs for 90 days to allow for talks. At a post-G20 summit meeting in Buenos Aires, Mr. Trump agreed not to boost tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese goods from 10 to 25% on 1st January. China will buy a very substantial amount of agricultural, industrial and energy products, the US say. Meanwhile, Beijing says the two sides agreed to open up their markets. It was the first face-to-face meeting between the two leaders since a trade war erupted earlier this year. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan demanded that Saudi Arabia extradite suspects in the killing in Istanbul of columnist Jamal Khashoggi, saying the kingdom was not cooperating. At a summit of the group of 20 in Buenos Aires, the Turkish leader took a firm tone on Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Saudi Arabia has announced the detention of 18 nationals and vowed to probe the killing of Khashoggi, a royal confidant turned critic who was killed and dismembered when he visited the kingdom's Istanbul consulate on October 2nd.
Now news on sports. Bangladesh clinched the two-match test series by 2-0, beating West Indies by an innings and 184 runs in the second test in Dhaka today. In Mirpur Sher-e-Bangla National Cricket Stadium, Bangladesh won the toss and elected to bat first. Bangladesh scored 508 runs in their first innings. In reply, West Indies were all out at 111 runs and forced to follow on. In the second innings, they scored 213 runs. Mehdi Hasan Miraj took 12 wickets for the home side and adjudged man of the match. Shakib Al Hasan was named player of the series for his all-round performance throughout the series. Bangladesh Cricket Board (BCB) has announced a 16-member squad for the three-match ODI series against West Indies. Mashrafi bin Murtaza will lead the Bangladesh team, while Tamim Iqbal and Shakib Al Hasan were included in the side. The other members are Imrul Qais, Shommo Sarkar, Liton Dash, Mushfiqur Rahim, Mahmudullah Riyad, Rubel Hossain, Mustafizur Rahman, Mehdi Hasan Miraj, Nazmul Islam, Mohammad Mithun, Mohammad Saifuddin, Abu Haidar and Ariful Haq. The ODI series will start from December 9th. And now to end the bulletin, a repeat of the top stories. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urges business community to explore export vigorously, utilizing benefits of Bangladesh's developing country status. EC finds 2,079 nomination papers valid and 786 invalid at scrutiny of candidature for 11th Parliament election. Appellate Division upholds Chamber Judge's verdict barring election for convicts over 2 years. BNP turned into rumour factory, losing people's trust, says Obaidul Qadir at briefing. US President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to suspend trade war. And in Dhaka, Test Tigers beat Windies by inning and 184 runs and clinched Test series 2-0.
That will be all from the newsroom at the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our 11:30 Bangla News. Khuda Hafiz.
Khuda Hafiz.